Not since Barbie have I seen legions of white women come together to unite under a single cause. But tonight was that night because there were swarms of them coming to watch Wicked in the theater. Um, I gotta say, I am actually coming into this like pretty blind. I never watched the stage production. I never listened to the soundtrack. Never read the book that I believe there's a book that the stage production was based off of. Um, I've never even really watched The Wizard of Oz. I mean, I feel like I had to have seen it as a child. Um, but like I don't really remember anything about it to be honest with you. Uh, so like I came into this like pretty blind. I just wanted to just I figured I could just go into Wicked, and since it's a prequel, I could just like absorb it on its own. And I will say, the Wicked starts, and it just like kind of spoils the end of the Wizard of Oz, or at least I assume it spoils the end of the Wizard of Oz. I was like, oh well, screw me. um, but yeah, I gotta say, it's a very good movie. Like I think like the biggest like positive that I can give it is that like as a musical, it really is a spectacle. Like all the wonderful set pieces that are very intricate. You have like these long sweeping like one shotters. Like they take advantage of the medium of film in a really cool way where you get really large sweeping shots and whatnot, and while at the same time still kind of feeling like a stage production, right? Like you can like feel the like what the Broadway play could potentially look like. Or at least I felt like I could kind of see how this would work on a stage, but yeah, it is really wonderful from that perspective. Uh, as far as the performances go, like I think her name is Cynthia Erivo. I think plays Alphaba, uh, or Alphaba, whatever. I don't remember how you pronounce it. And you could really feel her eyes staring down the barrel of the camera, and I feel like you could really see Cynthia Erivo in the role. If you know, you know. But no, she is genuinely really good. Her singing is really great, and yeah, like she very much is. I guess I feel like she is like the lead of the film, and she does a great job, and especially near the end of the movie when it's sort of when you reach that climax, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, she's great. Uh, I think more surprising, I would say, is Ariana Grande. Like she's genuinely really great in the movie. And it's not like she's never done any acting before, but all of her acting has been in like, at least from my understanding, has been on like Nickelodeon shows like Victorious and Sam and Cat. And I gotta say, I feel like she was pulling a little bit of a Cat Valentine into her performance here, in some respects, especially in like some of the more comedic elements. I could sense the Cat Valentine in there, and I actually thought it worked really well for the character of Glinda, or I guess Glinda. You know what I mean if you've seen the movie. Yeah, she's very good. And she works great alongside Cynthia Erivo. I really like their chemistry and their dynamics. You also have some other notable actors in here, like Michelle Yeoh. She plays like this wizard teacher. Um, I will say, like she's good in it as far as her acting is concerned, but there are a couple moments where she's like singing, and it's like, ugh. Michelle, you're amazing. Yes, Queen, you can do anything except sing. You can't really sing. This is definitely one of those times where it's like, I guess they wanted to cast Michelle Yeoh because she's a famous actress, but probably could have. She should have just cast somebody else that can actually sing. It doesn't ruin the movie, but there are moments where it's like, ugh, maybe they shouldn't have gotten Michelle Yeoh for this. I will say Jeff Goldblum, he plays the Wizard of Oz. He is actually a pretty decent singer. Like he doesn't sing a ton in it, but like whenever he does, it's like, okay, you're fine. You don't take away from the movie really. And yeah, the performances all across the board are generally pretty good. I also kind of liked the lore of the Wizard of Oz. I don't really remember like if all of this was expanded upon in like the original movie, but they sort of explain uh like things about like where the flying monkeys come from and like all the context behind that. And it actually is like pretty interesting, right? And they explain like the world of the Wizard of Oz, the sort of like the way the government is and the way like animals are treated in this world, and all of that is very interesting. They explain sort of how the Wizard of Oz came to be like opposed to the land of what did they say it was, the land of Oz, or there's like a really like weird term that they gave this land. Sorry, no, I was thinking of the name of the school that they go to. It's called Shiz University or something. but or sorry, yeah, it's called Shiz University. Um, but no, I don't remember actually what they call the land of Oz. It might just be the land of Oz actually. Now that I think about it, either way, when they like explain sort of the organization of the land of Oz and like all the things that are happening behind the scenes and how they're oppressing the animals. It's like, oh, that stuff was actually pretty interesting, and I got kind of hooked into the story, and it makes like the Wicked Witch's turn believable, in a sense. I'll be interested to see like how she ends up where she is in the Wizard of Oz, where I assume that in the Wizard of Oz she is just kind of a full-on villain. It'll be interesting to see if like by the end of the next movie she's like just evil now, or at the very least spiteful against the other people, and other humans. um as far as like negatives for the movie, I this is like a very minor thing, but it is just a thing that happens a lot in movies where they're in a university, right? So these are like supposed to be like young adults, like almost teenagers, and you look at all the actors and it's like, brother, you're 35. You're not university age. Um like that is kind of a thing. Uh there's also like some moments where they're like trying to call on to like the Wizard of Oz, and it's like, okay, bro, I get it. Oh, the yellow brick road. Like you see the origin story of the yellow brick road, and it's like, did we really need the origin story for the yellow brick road? Not really, but they gave it to us anyways. But aside from that, I mean, it's a really well made movie. I mean, listen, if you're not a fan of musicals, I mean, you're not gonna like this, right? It is very much a musical. But I think that if you're a fan of musicals, I think especially if you're a fan of Wicked, I have to assume that this movie is gonna be like amazing to you. Like you're gonna like love this. I think it is probably gonna be like really well revered from that front. From like for like fans of musicals. So yeah, I don't know if you're like a super big Wicked fan. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But I definitely recommend watching it. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to like watch Wicked Part 2 next year, and then I'll probably watch Wizard of Oz after that, and I'll see how that experience is. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.